You're listening to the Fully Loaded Podcast with your hosts, JC Cornell and Samir Ali.
Welcome to the Fully Loaded Draft Special. I am your host, JC Cornell, alongside, as always, the Samir Ali. Are you guys ready to do a little bit of a mock draft and figure out what's maybe in the Buccaneers' brain for the first couple picks of this draft?
Listen, JC, I mean, this is the first ever video fully loaded, all right? This is a pretty big moment right here.
It's a huge moment. We got the camera set up. I'm finally on your guys' level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, let's go through this 7-round mock draft, similar to what we did on the loose cannons, but a little bit more organized probably. Do we have any rules that we need to follow on this one? Or are there any stipulations that we got to abide by for this first one that we do?
So I think, first of all, we should not be able to – actually, I take that back because I really want to trade Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in this draft because I think we could get like a third-round pick possibly. Other than that, I think only trades – except for that one we should take are the ones that are offered to us. And I think we just go right off the bat, how it goes.
Okay, well, we'll set it up to slow speed so that we can see everything. And let's react to how these picks pan out. And let's see what you think we should be able to. Should we be allowed to trade up if we deem it necessary?
Yes, 1,000% we should be able to trade up.
Okay, all right, then. Let's switch over to our draft screen. We got the two of us on here, and I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's go.
Let's start with
the Chicago Bears, obviously, top of the draft. Let's go. And they take
Caleb Williams.
Yep.
No surprise there. Drake May, interesting. JJ to the Patriots.
Wow.
His stock has gone so high.
This is playing out.
Neighbors over Harrison. That's interesting, but that's also been talked about.
Yeah.
I don't like Bowers on the Falcons. No, thank you.
They keep him at home, though. That makes some sense. They pass up on Dallas Turner, which helps us. But here comes that tackle and cornerback run. I'm assuming is going to start happening here. There's 2 tackles right now.
Verse to the Saints.
I don't like that.
Neither do I.
There's 4 tackles now in the last 5 picks.
I don't know much about the Mitchell kid from Toledo. Barton's just a freak athlete at going to guard or center.
Yeah, they keep saying that Mitchell kid at Toledo's like top 2 in terms of corners in this draft now all of a sudden. I think he has
As everyone knows, our listeners know, I've done probably 15,000 mock drafts, so I'm just about ready for anything.
All right, so Graham Barton, it's interesting. He's already off the board. He goes to the
I expect him to be the first one out of that group that we're talking about to go first.
So he's been mocked to us a lot. He was recently just mocked to us with what's his name off NFL Network? What's his name?
Jeremiah?
No, this morning.
Oh no, it was that was Peter Schrager.
Yeah, Peter Schrager.
And Schrager's always dialed in with his sources. Like he says, he's not throwing darts. He's hearing things, and he's matching the players to the teams with what he's hearing. Barton to the Bucs is interesting. I think both of us agree we don't want a guard or center in the first round. Me personally, I'm a big guy that believes if you're drafting in the first round, it's a quarterback, it's a wide receiver, it's a cornerback, it's an edge rusher, it's a defensive tackle, it's a corner. I don't like center or guard in the first round, especially when you're saving so much money on premium positions.
And there's that 5th-year option, which comes in handy for an edge rusher.
Correct.
Comes in handy for a wide receiver. Obviously comes really, really in handy when it comes to a quarterback. I don't hate Barton. You know how I feel about him. I just don't think he's going to be available. And as it plays out here, he's also not available. But the guy that you and I both really like, Latu, is still on the board here at 19.
So with Latu on the board at 19, the Rams very well could take him. They're interested in Latu.
He plays in their backyard too.
I was going to tell you, I don't know how we want to go about this draft, but I said if Latu makes it to the Steelers at 20, that's where we can start sniffing around a trade, possibly offering them a 3rd round pick and possibly like a future second to see if we could grab that. Let's see what happens.
I'm in agreement there. I'm afraid of the Rams because, again, like I said, he played at UCLA.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's one of those, and they just lost Aaron Donald for good. He's retired. It'd be the perfect transition to this young guy who's a menace, in my opinion, as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
So it just fits and it feels right, but they have other needs on top of that. So
what about a defensive tackle for them?
That's the other thing, too. They could just replace him with the top defensive tackle in the draft, who if I scroll up here, I don't think we've seen a DT go off the board yet. No, we have not.
It's interesting that Newton kind of falls to the Bucs a lot in these drafts, but the thing about Newton is we already got a guy better than Newton that is a similar player. Cansey is much better than Newton, and I know Newton has great tape, but I just think he's Cansey light.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about it. If he's there and you have a chance to go Vita, Cansey, Newton, and then any 2 guys on edge, that is a ridiculous lineup. And they can all play across the board, too.
But me personally, I would wait to the 2nd round. And if you really want that defensive lineman, I would go after the Florida State kid.
Okay, that's an interesting one there, too.
Fisk.
Fisk is, I was going to say Fisk also has the same versatility, if not more,
and
Newton.
He can play that William Golston position. Fisk can. He can play any position on the line.
He can play any one of them. And, dude, Jared Verse is not Jared Verse without Braden Fisk, just so everyone's clear. Like, I watch those 2 play. That kid's motor is ridiculous, and he helped create a lot of havoc. He single-handedly took over a game on his own from the defensive tackle position, too.
Yeah, he's just a complete athletic freak.
All right, so we're going to go.
Sure you know what his RAS was.
Pretty high. I think it was like top 2% ever for defensive
tackles.
It was
like close. Yeah. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see what happens here. This is the one that I don't want to play out a certain way.
Oh, Knicks.
Wow. Is PFF drunk?
life after Stafford, I guess.
All right, so here we are, JC. A lot of the guys.
I'm dialing in this trade.
All right, what do you want me to?
So 26 and for their 20.
Okay.
And then you could say the Detroit 92 pick and a round 2, 2025. Oh, they're going to accept that like that?
And they're getting 2 picks for 1. I feel like we should get, I know it's moving up 6 spots. I don't know how it works here, but I'd like to not lose a pick completely. I like 89 to 92 being so close.
Jason likes those 3rd round picks, and I truly believe you can get 2 starters in the 3rd round.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But we go from 89 all the way to 125.
All right, how about this? Take away 92 and just offer them a second in 2025.
I think that's a good
I like
way
that.
To go.
I like that.
Let me see one other thing here. What if we went? They won't do that. What if they went 98 and 92, 26 and 20? I don't know. Probably going to say no to that. So you want to give up a 2nd round pick in 2025?
Yes, to secure the guy that is an absolute game wrecker.
And get.
Oh, I like that. If we can get 84, let's do that.
All right, so we're going to get 84 and 20, and they're going to get a 2nd round pick in 2025.
I just feel like some people will complain about this.
Because you're giving up a 2nd round pick.
Yeah, but how much are the Steelers? Are they in rebuild mode? Or are they Russell Wilson, Justin Fields?
I mean, if you think about it,
throw them 125.
So it's going to be quite a wait there too. I don't think they'll do over that.
No, with the round 2.
Oh, with it?
Yeah, so just so they get a pick. I don't want people to complain that that's like a BS trade.
Yeah, but I think that's a good trade, honestly.
All right, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it.
My only concern is that you lose a 2nd round pick next year.
Yeah, yeah.
Will Chris Godwin possibly get you that? Will Jamel Dean possibly get you that? I don't think we're in a position to trade those guys unless it's the trade deadline, which that means the season's not going very well. But
I agree.
All right, so this is what you want to do.
Offer it.
Let's see what happens. All right, we have moved up, dude, and we have a plethora of options. Holy shit. But if I understand you correctly, we're moving up because we want a specific person here, right?
We want Latu on the edge for the Bucs for the next 10 years.
You want to see what options we have here at trade?
Not really.
All right, go ahead. Give me your Latu sales pitch, man. I mean, not that I need it, but some of these people out here might need it.
Latu literally is on the same level as the Bosa brothers as just pure pass rushers. He obviously had the medical scare with his neck at Washington, which is the only reason he falls down this draft board. Because if you're a top 10 pick, I don't think you're going to want to take a chance on the guy with that neck issue, even though he's medically cleared. He has that red flag in his past. That's why in the 20s, it makes more sense for Latu. But as far as a pass rusher, like I said, he's Bosa level. This guy, the swim moves, the speed, the bend, he just gets after the quarterback and creates complete chaos. And then you put him next to Cansey, Vita Vea. Oh my God, Agent Zero, Diaby. It would be, and I truly believe Latu gets you 10 plus sacks his rookie season.
The other thing too about him, JC, is you look at his body, he doesn't look like a pass rusher.
Yeah, but did you see how much size he put on?
No, I get it. And so what I'm saying, he still has room to grow, physically grow.
Oh, yeah.
He's still not there at his last form physically. So at the next level, you see a lot of guys jump, especially in the NFL, especially at those pass rush positions. So I think
he looks big. He looks big. He was working out at UCLA. He looks big right now.
He's gonna get bigger, and that's the thing. Yeah. He's gonna get better too. So I think that's what if he passes the medicals.
I just think that's a home run move if Jason Light pulls that off.
All right, so we're sending that card.
Let's
right.
Lock it in.
Let's lock him in.
So happy I didn't have to get in a Cooper DeJean argument with you.
I'm curious if the Steelers would have ended up taking him. Byron Murphy goes to the Eagles, so that I would assume they probably would have taken him.
And this was hard for me too, because I'm starting to love Mitchell right there. Goes to the Packers. It wouldn't have happened anyway. I really think Mitchell could be an option for the Bucs. That makes a lot of sense.
Worthy's also a good one. I think he's more of a one-trick pony, in my opinion.
He's a smaller dude, a speed guy.
Chop Robinson
There's
gone.
Chop at 28. A lot of Bucs scouts out there, Twitter scouts out there, just poo-pooing Chop Robinson when the guy is just, lack of production, but my God, just physically off the charts. He has the potential with good coaching to be a superstar.
All right, so let's recap what's happened since our pick.
Look at DeJean fall to 30.
Yep, Amarius Mims, tackle, goes to the Dolphins. Murphy, defensive line, goes to the Eagles. Brian Thomas Jr., that's a good pick for the Vikings, who I don't think they've taken a quarterback yet, if I remember. They have not. They've taken a tackle and a wide receiver. Interesting. I don't know if that's really how it's going to play out, but Penix is still available, so you never know. There's that Guten kid that people have mocked to the Bucs, moving him over to guard. He goes to the Dallas Cowboys. A.D. Mitchell's a Packer. Chop Robinson there, obviously. DeJean, they add another DB to a pretty loaded secondary, in my opinion, in Baltimore there. And Darius Robinson sneaks into the first round, man. That's pretty dope. So that's the entire first round. I think we did a pretty good job.
I love it.
You think there's
and just the thing, if he makes it to 20, like I said, you make that move, it just makes too much sense, especially if the package isn't too crazy. But if Latu goes and you're at 26, I'm sure Jason's going to think about Chop Robinson. He's going to think about Mitchell, the wide receiver. If Cooper DeJean's there, I mean, Todd Bowles could do so much with DeJean, whether he's playing outside, slot, safety, best punt returner in college football. And then also what I was going to say about DeJean, I know a little off topic, but if any injury occurs in your secondary, DeJean can immediately move to that spot.
Yeah. Listen, I give him credit for that because he can play multiple positions. I think he might translate better as a safety and a nickel kind of guy, but the punt returning stuff is really, really intriguing too, and kick returns now being a thing. So it's interesting, though, that if somehow Latu, going back to him, if he doesn't end up a Ram, I feel like
that's what I'm worried about the most.
If he's not a Ram, I feel like you have to go up and grab him, because I don't think the Steelers want him because they have other needs, especially on the offensive line. I would assume, and then secondary, I think that'd be the spot to want to take him, because I think the Dolphins have an opportunity to take him. I think the Eagles have shown that they will take pass rushers no matter what. And then you've got the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Packers. That's tough, man. That's tough to just wait around and
Yeah,
hope they
you
don't
can't.
take him.
You can't wait for Latu in this draft.
Yeah, and if he falls enough, I think we did
And
what we should have done.
he's consistently been the most mocked player to the Buccaneers through all these outlets mock drafts.
Yeah, and plus, like I said, you get the 50-year option on him. You're paying a guy who I think is worthy of first-round money as opposed to a center or guard. So I agree with you on that one.
I agree 100%.
Now we're sitting. Our next pick is still at 57. Who's your?
So let's see the board right now. This is where we could get, if there's let's look at the needs of some of these teams. If any of these teams need an edge, you could package JTS with a pick.
Titans.
But it just depends who's on the board right now.
I don't know. The greatest thing about this mock draft simulator for PFF is that you can't see the board. That's
really?
You can't see the board on the
computer. Can't you? Here. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can't see it while you're in the simulator. It's kind of stupid. In my opinion, like for me, I don't know how you're thinking about this, but I think I want to find the best available player in here, and hopefully it's a guard, somebody that can come in.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Haynes from UConn.
Yeah, but we do have a wide receiver need. Xavier Leggett,
and that's my thing with wide receivers. It's if you want an elite guy, it's got to be round 2. You're borderline round 3. There's good guys, but I mean, I like that kid, Corley. He's for college football. He had the most yards after the catch. He's like a running back playing wide receiver. He actually played running back the first 2 years of college before switching to wide receiver. Great hands, and then I think Liam Cohen could just scheme him up so many different plays that would be successful.
Listen, if we're going to look at it beyond the Chris Godwin years, because I think this will be his last year as a Buck, because he's 29 when he hits free agency. He wants another payday. I don't think the Bucs are going to be in a position to do that. So. But he's going to eat in the slot this year. And I think at that point, when you transition, I think that kid that you just named is the Yak King. He's going to flourish in that slot / Debo type of role with Liam Cohen. I think that's a really good pick. Getting that next guy who eventually becomes that wide receiver 1 when Mike Evans kind of starts to, tone it down and get older and actually retire, it's a good spot to do it. And you don't have to shove him into the lineup the first year, but let's see how this plays out.
Don't sleep on McConkey for replacing Godwin in the slot.
Oh, dude. That kid runs routes.
Liam Cohen comes from the Rams. I'm not saying he's Cooper Kupp, but
he's got the stuff, man. He's got the Cooper Kupp.
He's got it.
Stuff. All right, I'm going to hit resume on this and see how this all plays out. There's Leggett. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Panthers. Damn it.
Oh, wide receiver run.
It's starting to happen.
Frazier's gone.
And listen, I'm like you. I'm not too worried about these centers. I think there's so many of them that you don't have to take number 1 and number 2 guy.
Definitely. I think if anything, they'll get a center that just competes with Hainsey. Yeah, wow, maybe. Newton lasted till 40. And there's
there he is.
JPJ goes 41st. What were you saying that Sycamore said about injuries with him?
I don't know who said. Somebody said their medicals are a reason why he's falling now for everybody. And PFF just did an update last night on all their rankings, and we see him now in this mock all the way down to 41. He's not even a first round pick. That's pretty wild considering he was.
Yeah. By the way, touted. For the listeners, PFF updated their entire simulator last night with an all new big board. Kickers are included, so a lot of things changed up that people are used to that have been doing it for months. Max
Melton, he's one of my favorite corners in this draft, dude. He's going to be really, really good. And I think he's prepared because his older brother's already in the league too. And to go to the Texans, that's just wild. Falcons are up here. We're still a ways down. And I'm interested to see what they end up doing here because hopefully it doesn't hurt the Bucs. Okay. We don't really need that safety, I guess. That's a good wide receiver there. Wow, Addis Isaac.
Is there anyone right now coming up that has an edge need?
Let's see.
Not really.
Not until the Bucs. But we've already addressed that. So
there goes Lad McConkey to the Bengals.
Yeah, and then a little bit of a wide receiver run here in the second round, kind of like what we talked about too. That's kind of the round you want to get one of these guys.
They go quick in the second round. That's the thing.
I still think there's some good guys available,
I
especially
still
here at
like,
57.
like I said, I like that Corley kid if he's there for us.
Well, let's hope the Rams don't see that and want to replace Cooper Kupp with a new one.
Yeah.
Or a better, actually, version of him. Let's see. Steelers, come on.
Roman Wilson's good. This is a wide receiver run.
Yeah.
That's a really good tight end. Sanders.
Ooh, they addressed their secondary with a safety there, the Eagles.
Rakestraw.
Oh, Ricky Pearsall goes.
These.
And Blake Corum. Okay.
So look, this is what I was talking about. If Fisk is there for us, I mean, he plugs in that line just, oh. But at the same time, we got to think about wide receiver.
So let's look at wide receiver.
There's the guy.
At where's it? D line. So all right, he's there at 6. He's technically the 62nd ranked on their board here. You got Braden Fisk. You got Chris Jenkins, who I think is also really, really good.
Yeah, I would take Fisk over Jenkins though.
Yeah, I would too. And I might be partial.
Here's the thing, if we don't go Corley right here, you're gonna have to hope that Devontae or Walker or Javon Baker are gonna be there at the next pick.
Yeah, I think the most likely scenario is going to be Malik Washington at 84.
Yeah, but he's small, man. He's really small.
What I'm saying is looking at what we have in front of us before we get to our next pick, I don't see Walker or Baker being there, honestly. And I'm not a fan. And then
I'm not a huge fan of Johnny Wilson.
No, I think he's a tight end in the NFL, honestly. I don't think.
Interesting that McMillan fell that far down the board.
So I can make a pretty good case to take Fisk here, man. Imagine taking edge and then adding Fisk somehow. He slides all the way down. He's usually
okay. So hear me out. Hear me out. So coming after us, we have the Lions and the Ravens with edge needs. Can we take Fisk here and secure a trade with either the Ravens or the Lions and send them JTS in a pick?
I don't know if anyone wants JTS. And my thing here, I see Braden Fisk, not a need for the Bucs, but that's a Lion. He's got Lions written all over him. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he's not taken by the Texans or the Packers, which is insane to think about. Because
Fisk would be, I think they'd fucking, excuse me. They would just send that pick in pretty quickly.
So what should we do here, man? Should we go for the smart pick, address the wide receiver room for the future, and then go from there?
Yeah, you're going to have to hope that, Burton, Baker, Walker, one of these guys is going to be there next. Because I always target that third round and at least get one interior offensive lineman because I like that. Man, I don't know. I think we take Fisk, but you're going to lose out on Corley, and Corley could be such a weapon for Liam Cohen and Baker.
I'm 50-50 on either, or I'd be happy with Fisk, and I'd also be happy with Corley because it makes a lot of sense. And remember, we have 84, 89, and 92, real close, especially that 84 and that 89 and 92. That's a real good guard / center 1-2 pick.
So do you think we just take best player available, take Fisk, and then take our chances on a wide receiver with the next pick?
It'd be really hard to not draft this kid, man.
I think you have to. If he's there at this pick, I mean, it's great value, and he's a beast. And then that line and that's just helping Latu even more. Yeah, we're taking Fisk.
And you're helping Vita Vea stay a little bit healthier. You're rotating him.
Vita, you're helping Cansey.
You don't know what the future. We don't know the future of Vita Vea on this team. He's slowing down. He's getting older. Say that. I'm just saying, you never know. A
guy like Vita can play till he's like 38.
But you can't pay him all. That's the thing, JC. You can't pay him all. I'm sure he's going to want a payday at some point. You got Cansey coming up. You're going to have Latu in this case coming up eventually. I feel like you're going to have to make a tough decision. And if you get the guy that can kind of replace him and move forward or fits well with him, doesn't mean Vita has to go if you draft Fisk.
Fisk can play any position on the line. I just think when you're replacing Vita Vea, you need another huge dude. Fisk is more, 3 technique or the William Golston position right next to him.
So we're going Fisk here?
Yeah.
Oof. People are going to kill us for passing up on Corley 2 nights in a row. So here we go. Dang, this is a hell of a draft so far, I'll be honest with you.
Wait, pause it. Do we try to trade up for Corley?
The Texans don't have a wide receiver need, in my opinion, even though it says they have a wide receiver need. I don't think they do. I think they have 3 studs, counting Stephon Diggs. I can see the Bills taking him. Who did the Bills take in that first round already? I thought they took A.D. Mitchell. No, they took Chop Robinson. So they would definitely not be passing up on the best available wide receiver, in my opinion.
I mean, this is, Jason doesn't usually trade up as much as you think. And he has in his presser said how much those picks mean to him.
But remember, we gained an extra pick. We have the
pick
from
and at
the
same
Lions.
time, though, injecting Corley into this offense would be just he's like Deebo Samuel. He can go play running back if you want him to. He'll be in the slot. You can do what, and people are saying he can't run routes. I mean, the guy will figure it out. I mean, he's been playing the position for 2 years.
He's going to replace Chris Godwin when he leaves, and
he would be the Godwin replacement,
and eventually he'll be the heir apparent to Mike Evans because he will become a stud for this team.
Well, you got to get a bigger guy to replace Mike.
No, I mean he becomes wide receiver 1. I'm not saying replace Mike's action. Yeah. There's only one way to get him, honestly. If we move up to the Texans spot, I think otherwise there's no way he's getting past the Bills, the Lions, the Niners, and the Chiefs. And he's still.
So we got to consider. We got to consider here. We don't want to give up any more 2025 picks. Jason likes his picks. We did that for Latu, but what could we offer for 59?
So we have 2 free picks. Really, we gained that pick from the Steelers and the Detroit Lions. So I'm not sure that's going to be
80,
enough.
84, 92. Would that do it? And then Now you're going to be down to 89, 125, 220. Technically at 89, we could possibly make a trade down if it's offered to us to gain another pick.
I have 2 issues with this. We're going to be going from 89 all the way to 125. That's quite a wait, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go waiting from 125 to 220.
But like I said, when we get to 89, if someone offers us something, we can move down and get another pick. But that's just how the draft goes. It's a dice game.
I like that 89th pick because you have the pick of 2 of the really, really best guards in that spot.
Yeah. But I mean,
Texans do have an extra pick.
Here, though, think about this, though. If we make this trade and we get Corley, then at 89, we could most likely secure a guard like McCormick or Mahogany, Cooper Beebe. And then at 125, you might be able to get a guy like that center Tortellini, the Italian dude that shows some promise. And at 220, you have McMahon, the center, who literally was a 5-star recruit, one of the best centers in the country coming into college football. And he might just need to be coached up.
So I have it selected right now to give them 84 and 92 to get up to 59, but also have them give us 188. Which is a pick they have from the Vegas Raiders. So that kind of gives us a little bit more of a bumper there between 125 and 220. Maybe you find a good tight end in there.
I think this is a good move.
All right. You want to offer this trade?
Let's offer it.
Let's see what they say. They took it. They took the trade. So here we are. We're at 59.
Now we take Corley.
Hold on, though. Christian Hayes is still on the board. I know we talked about this wide receiver, but I did not anticipate him falling still.
Haynes is a beast, but I really think that South Dakota State.
No, I like both of them.
I like McCormick a lot. He's a big kid, dude.
Marshawn Nealon is still available.
And of course, it goes back to my tweet from a long time ago that Jason Light can literally find an interior offensive lineman in a butcher shop in South Dakota.
Christian Haynes is special, in my opinion, but I think
he's very, very, he's a big, strong guy.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate with you here a little bit, right? We got Corley, okay? Marshawn Nealon is still on the board. I don't know if about him being more important than Corley, but Andrew Phillips out of Kentucky, really good corner.
Oh, he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, and so we're in a
He
position
has like
here.
Tyrann Mathieu kind of vibes, the way he plays the game. He's a little undersized, but he's scrappy.
I mean, there's some good picks, some good players here.
I just think for the offense, for Baker, for Liam Cohen, Corley turns this offense to the next level.
So that's the pick. I mean, we moved up. I feel like if you're going to move up, we gave up 2 picks to do that.
Got to go Corley.
Got to go and just hope we can still, get some more talent beyond that. I mean, it's hard to pass up on Christian Haynes, but I agree with you. I think that kid out of South Dakota State has more of a Jason Light signature on him. So,
yeah.
All right. We'll go with the wide receiver here. Hell of a draft so far, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah, this is really good. We'll have to see. Hopefully Jason watches this.
Chris Jenkins ends up staying in Detroit. And
Christian Haynes. Yeah.
There he is.
And Nealon is, he's just all bull rush. He doesn't have any other moves than the bull rush.
He's got short arms.
275 pounds.
Yeah. He's a project. I don't think he comes in right away. That's why I know people want him and they say he's a really good pick in the second round, but he's not coming in day one and sparking anything. That's a problem.
But think about this right now. We have Latu, Fisk, and Corley with our first 3 picks.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Those are all immediate starters, all immediate impact players.
Yeah, Fisk is going to make impact day one. People don't really realize how good that kid is.
I love Jalen Wright. Ugh.
Spencer Rattler.
I don't like that Ray Davis is going to be 25 next year. That's just a little.
Yeah, I think it's lazy when people mock him to the Bucs just because of Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
I think there's better options out there and that are a little bit younger.
We'll talk about some running backs later that I really like.
So we're coming up here.
I like that Austin Booker kid.
A little bit of a run on
there's a little edge run. Yep. There goes Baker. There's Lloyd. Bucs have had interviews with Lloyd.
That's a good pick for the Cowboys.
Johnny Wilson goes right before us. I don't know who this Jalix Hunt guy is. This guy just appeared on PFF like last night.
But he's got that.
Look at Kyrie Jackson. I know we need guard, but Kyrie Jackson.
Oh. So look, we're in a good spot. Honestly, we're in a good spot. So let's look at corners and interior O-line at the same time here. All right, so there's a lot of good choices here. So we got 89 and 125. It's a little bit of a weight. Kyrie Jackson falling right here is pretty insane.
That's crazy, but we also have 2 trades up there.
Got Renardo Green, who I think both these guys fit, but
both guys are good man press corners. Bowles likes.
I like Jackson's size versus Renardo Green's size.
Me as well.
And then we've got BB McCormick.
BB's not a for sure like starter in the league. He might be like a swing like just swinging all over the place. But I think McCormick has the intangibles and the size to be plugged in and be a beast.
So what about Trevor Keegan? He falls.
I love Keegan. We could get Keegan later.
So let's play devil's advocate here.
Think about this. We talked about this on the phone. Jim Harbaugh wins the national championship. Keegan's the starting left guard. They are a trench team. They run the football. And that guy was their left guard winning that title.
Keep in mind, JC, they had games where they didn't even pass the ball in the second half.
I know. That's what there's not a lot of tape on the quarterback McCarthy because they ran the ball so much.
Yeah, and that's
with success.
That team, Wisconsin, Ohio State, they typically have those very run-heavy monsters up front, those hogs. So let's say we go with this Kyrie Jackson kid, because you still got Ortolini, you still got Keegan, who are in that 125 range. Like you could take a chance and still get that guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it'd be hard.
You have to. I mean, at this point, I feel like Kyrie Jackson's really good value here.
Be hard to pass him up, man.
It's really hard to pass on that.
I know I love Mason McCormick too.
Just check the trade. See what was offered to us.
Let's see.
We're not going all the way to 108
and 111.
Definitely not going to 111.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good. I think we have to make a pick here, and I'm not a. I don't see.
I'm going Jackson, and then we'll address interior offensive line with 125 and 188.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot there to get a guard and a center right after each other, honestly.
how do you pass up Jackson here? And then the first 4 picks of our draft? Are you kidding me?
I'm with you, man. I can't pass on that kid. I know McCormick's cool and it'll be an awesome pick in my opinion, but
I mean, but then again, maybe we do think about McCormick a little bit here.
I know, but you got to I like building a defense through the draft and addressing different pieces of the offense through free agency more than the opposite of that, the vice versa of that. So you don't know what Jamel Dean's future is going to be. We have that kid playing opposite of him now, who I'm not completely sold on. Zion McCollum. So Jackson comes in at worst, he's cornerback 3 to start the season.
Yeah.
How they move them around and how they play him in different spots. I think he
eventually
could
just take over for Dean,
or he could take over for Zion. I don't know how. Zion seems to be happy playing that nickel slot and nickel spot and safety spot.
Zion came out saying that he just figured out learning how to tackle last season. I'm like, well, that's not good.
Well, if you watched him his rookie year, you'd believe it because he
I know.
He didn't know how to tackle. That was the biggest thing that looked different for him.
I think we take Kyrie Jackson. Can you click on him really quick? What's his size exactly?
I believe he's 6'4", man.
6'3", 195, long guy.
Yeah.
Size. Yeah. What was his? I wonder what his 40-yard dash was. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
I just think he's too good to pass up in that spot just because of his ability to fit into Todd's scheme, honestly. He has a couple of knocks on him, though he fares well in press. He can get pushed off balance against stronger receivers.
He ran a 4.5.
Has good recovery speed, needs to anticipate better, so he isn't as behind when players get vertical. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I like that, but at his size, at 6'3", that's pretty good speed for that size.
It's kind of like the Carlton Davis thing where they make up for their size with their speed with their length.
Yeah, I don't see how Todd Bowles would not be absolutely running this card up. Honestly.
Yeah, we're taking Kyrie Jackson.
I think you just have to. Let's build this defense from the draft. I like this pick, and we'll just see how it plays out.
Hold on. Pause. Now we're in JTS trade mode.
You want to get rid of this kid?
Give him to the Ravens.
Let's see if this actually works. All right. You just straight up for the pick?
Yeah, straight up for, let's see. Yeah. For 93. Yeah.
You want to move up again?
Yeah. I want to get rid of JTS. He's got potential to still be a good player. He's got the traits. Maybe, the Ravens have great success with their edge rushers.
I don't think he's an edge 1 no matter what. I think he's an edge 2.
No, I'm just but
regardless.
Is he worth could you get a 3rd round pick? Possibly, yeah.
At the end of the day, he's not going to be back, in my opinion, after the rookie contract, unless nobody wants him and he comes back on some ridiculously cheap team-friendly deal. But at that point, why would you come back to the team that's basically said, we don't really want you anymore? We've kind
because
of
look at this. If we trade JTS to the Ravens, we can get our guy McCormick.
I know, and we're kind of building through here, but we're down one rotational player. But
I would say if people were going to complain, then we can throw them like 220 or 188 or 220.
I don't know about 188.
220.
Just to make it more realistic, you think?
Yeah, just more realistic.
Because and they're getting a player that they probably are not going to be able. They're not going to re-sign him right off the bat. There's really, except for Gabriel Murphy right now, I don't think he's been selected. There's not a lot of edge guys left. What did they do with their previous picks? Can you check? The Ravens. Let's see.
Have they already got an edge?
They've been above us almost every single time. They got edge Jonah Ellis. Just a minute ago, yeah. I don't like that kid.
I don't like Ellis at all.
They got Cooper DeJean. I mean, are they going to take a trade for a kid that they might not keep? Because they got to get him in the building and even find out if they're going to keep him.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's a tough one to sell, in my opinion, to your fan base.
Maybe we try to trade JTS in the 4th.
So let's just resume this draft here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moving up and down. A lot of moving up for the Bucs, which I don't anticipate will happen too often.
Right, I agree.
They took the kid that we don't know about. This Jalen Hunt kid.
You have to turn the tape on.
All right,
There goes BB.
and there goes
There goes
McCormick.
McCormick.
I wonder if maybe that next pick might have to be.
Oh, Van Pran's gone.
That's
I like him a lot.
he fits the Steelers too, man. That's a good pick for them. Al Bensona's
Mm.
gone. Damn it! I was gonna say, do we think about tight end?
And tight end run right there. Eric Hall has had a ton of injuries, but he
he's an
has
Iowa kid.
He's an Iowa tight end. You don't mess around with those guys.
Yeah. We're still up at 125 here. I think this is kind of like what the risk we had to take that Kyrie Jackson kid, though.
Yeah, but think about the first four now that we got. We got Latu, we got Fisk, we got Corley, and then we got Kyrie Jackson. I mean,
I believe Mahogany's still on the board here.
That would be huge for us.
I think he's still on the board.
We're in the fourth round now. Is someone need an edge? No.
Let me see if Mahogany's still on here.
I think he is.
He has not been drafted yet, which would be an amazing fall for us. And listen, at the end of the day, we did bring in a couple of offensive linemen that maybe the Bucs are willing to roll the dice with for a year to figure things out if they don't get the guys.
Maybe at 114, that's where we unload JTS to the Jaguars. They need an edge.
So here comes the Ravens again.
Okay.
They took Braden Jackson. That's 2 edges so far in their draft. So we'd be jumping from 125 to 114 to give them JTS and 220? Would the Jaguars take a guy that they don't know if they're going to keep and lose a pick there?
I personally think Tryon's got a lot of potential still.
Yeah, I don't know if the Bucs are going to trade him.
All right, well then let's just forget that then.
That's just me personally. I don't know if they want to get rid of the rotation. But remember, we gained Fisk. In this scenario that we're in, Fisk needs some playing time. I don't know if he's a straight-up edge guy like that. And so now you have Latu and Yaya Diaby. You give them a lot of reps in this scenario.
I just think it's a very crowded room now with Latu, Diaby, Nelson, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and our newest addition, Gregory.
I could see
that's a crowded room.
I feel like if they don't trade him on draft day, he's definitely going to be somebody that they dump on some team at the trade deadline, probably.
I mean, I wish we could phone a friend and say, what's a realistic draft pick to get rid of JTS? This guy was he a first round pick, right? He's end of the first round.
Yeah.
This is a first round player in his 4th year.
But you're getting him on an expiring contract. You're giving up 114th overall pick as a Jaguar to bring in a guy you.
And so, all right, well, we can't look, of course, because PFF doesn't let us. What edges are even still available?
I believe the only kid that you're talking about, the kid out of UCLA, Gabriel
Murphy, still available.
I don't think I've seen his name. Yeah.
I mean, he's legit, but we don't need it. We don't need Murphy anymore because Murphy can play on the edge, but he can also play that Fisk position.
Yeah, he has not been drafted, which is kind of wild because I do think he gets overshadowed. But I mean, this draft is falling kind of odd as well. I mean,
former first round pick, 4th year, plenty of potential, has all the attributes, just hasn't performed. Teams will take risks on those type of players, especially at his age.
They also have that 50-year option in their back pocket if they really don't know what to do with him, right?
Exactly.
So that does make a little bit of sense. We're giving up 220 and that pick, and that player. I mean,
yeah, do it.
Let's see if they give it to us. Let's see if they do it.
Look who's first on the board, baby.
That's baby, top of our board, Mahogany. That's the guy
exactly how we wanted to play out.
Yeah, that's how we wanted it. I like that center out of Penn State, by the way, just an FYI. But
I mean, we do have to remember. I'll get there later. But Estime, the running back from Notre Dame, is the perfect complement to Rachaad White in this draft.
So here's the interior.
I think it's no brainer. I think it's Mahogany.
So
I like Keegan a lot, but I think it's Mahogany at this spot.
We have 3 really good picks here, JC. You got 114, 125, and 188, and we've got a lot.
I also love Bo
guys.
Limmer, the center from Arkansas. He's a beast.
So if we take Mahogany, who I agree it should be the best player available in this spot, and that's the pick, we have the next 125 and 188. We still have Bordellini. We still have Keegan, who wouldn't really be a need at this point. Zinter, again, not really a need, but we got Bo Limmer and McMahon from North Carolina State.
Love Bo.
So and you still got Drake Nugent out of Michigan.
Nugent, yeah.
So
yeah, but
remember you mentioned, we talked about Zinter. Zinter goes down in that Ohio State-Michigan game, if you remember, right? Season ending. And they ran the ball after he left the game for an entire third quarter on 2 drives straight, which they scored on with Blake Corum against Ohio State, massive rivalry game. And the guy leading the pack there was Drake Nugent. So I love that kid. So I think we're in a good spot here.
We take Mahogany right here, and then with 125, we got to get ourselves a running back.
And I think we're still in a good spot to land a Nugent.
Yeah, or one of these guys like McMahon.
Yeah.
Like I said, McMahon was a 5-star kid coming out of high school as a center.
I think we're in a good spot. There's no need to take JPJ or Zach Frazier like some of these people have us doing.
Mahogany's a beast, dude.
So let's get that guard figured out.
We got him.
Our kid. Yep, that's our kid now. He's ours. And then here we got a few more picks coming up, and we'll be, I think, in running back territory, in my opinion.
There goes Davis. Davis would have been a good option at running back, but I love Estime if he's here. Please don't draft Estime.
It's coming up. Smith's still going here. It's pretty.
Right, there goes Allen. Come on, one more pick.
They don't need a running back there.
All right. Estime, man. I mean, we can talk about the other guys on this board, like Bortolini, the center, Norzad, the center from Penn State. He's a good player, but I do think Estime as a compliment to Rashad is literally the perfect guy in this draft to do it. He ran a 4.71, which is, not great, but like on tape, he can take it to the house anytime he wants. He's got long speed. He breaks tackles. I mean, how much does he weigh? 227. He's probably bigger than that. And he's almost like Leonard Fournette on steroids.
Yeah, he's hard to bring down. I think he also becomes a very good short yardage guy, almost right.
Do you know how good this draft is right now?
Pretty damn good, honestly. And this kid, look at these.
18 touchdowns last season.
1,341 yards.
Average 6.4 a carry.
I mean, look at these.
Look at that rushing grade, 94 rushing grade. Zone grade, 90.6. 4.27 yards after contact. That's like unheard of.
Yeah, I was gonna say missed tackles forced. That's 19th in the country. It's 64. That's 9th with the yards after contact. I think he's a good pick, man. Honestly, I think that addresses at a really good spot too.
I think they're clapping in the war room for that pick right here.
Yeah, I'm looking at other needs that we have here, and I don't see guys, honestly, that are higher rated other than the center. But again, there's too many other guys that I think we can still fall into. So,
like we said, Bortolini could be a pick. I still think you can take a chance, like you said, that Nugent kid, and then there's also McMahon. Like I said, the 5-star coming out of high school. He needs some coaching, man.
Well, that's a good spot. So you have Hainsey, who I think, from what I know. They're pretty confident that he can still be the center for the Bucs. And I think if they've addressed the guard positions, they're okay with him. And so now you bring in a guy like McMahon, like you're talking about. You don't got to rush him onto the field. You don't got to be forced to play him on the field because you drafted him so high, and you can let him develop. And Hainsey, in my opinion, will not be back with the Bucs because I don't think they're going to re-up him when his contract runs out. And now you have the guy that kind of slides in naturally if he shows the potential.
And then, you can also give Hainsey another year. Baker loves Hainsey, but Hainsey was probably the worst center in the league. But that was also growing pains having the rookie next to him. I think
and not having a left guard at all.
I think Mahogany's plug and play left guard right away.
He will make Hainsey better, honestly, because now he's doing his job as opposed to 2 guys' jobs or 3 guys' jobs at this point. So, and even if he's not, the future center, you still got a year you can buy time, in my opinion, and get the other kid ready, McMahon. So I'm with you, man. This is a good spot. Just take this running back. Let's address that room. Yeah,
Have you seen the pictures of this kid? He is ginormous.
I'm down, dude. I mean, he looks huge, but he's not that tall, which is kind of wild. He's only 5'11".
Watch his highlights. He's 4.71, but he's hauling ass.
Dude, we don't need speed at this spot. I think we need a guy that can just
This is a short yardage guy. This is a goal line guy. This is just,
This is the guy we're going to...
This guy's getting us first downs.
Yeah, and then we got him. All right, so that's a good pick right there. Keegan.
All right, so now we have 61 picks before we pick again.
Keegan's gone. Jordan McGee now. There's Nurzad, the Penn State
Just
center we
to
talked
just
about.
to recap now, we got Latu trade up in the first round. Second round, we got Brandon Fisk, Florida State, probably immediately starts next to Cansey and Vita. Then we got Corley, wide receiver, 5'10", 220, former running back, just Debo Samuel type player. What was our next pick? Then hold on.
I believe our next pick after Corley was.
Oh, we got Kyrie Jackson, cornerback.
Yeah, we got Kyrie Jackson. And then we traded back up with the Jaguars and got Christian Mahogany, got rid of JTS. And then we're at 125.
Estime.
Yeah, 125.
This is
a good draft so far, man. I like it. Some guys going off the board here.
Cornelius Johnson, the wide receiver from Michigan, is one of those wide receivers you can get later in the draft. There's Gabriel Murphy.
Gabriel Murphy.
Wow. And his twin brothers in the draft too. Luke McCaffrey.
That was a good pick. I have him circled. If he's at a certain spot, he's definitely worth it because I think he has potential.
Who's that?
McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's 6'2", man. He's got size and he's fast, obviously, from that family.
And he's got hands. Muhammad Kamara. Fallen pretty far there. He goes to the Saints.
I also think McCaffrey is another one of those like Liam Cohen kind of guys.
Yeah, I think he fits really well, especially if you don't have to shove him down the starting lineup's throat. I think you can pick and choose and have some fun with him and kind of bring him along.
Also with Corley immediately plugs in as a returner.
Yeah, he brings a lot. He's just got speed, man. Guys that can break tackles like that. He's just got the way the Niners have Debo taking punt returns in certain situations, same type of thing there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I could speed this up, actually.
I mean, it's all right. I mean,
Zach Zinter. There's another Michigan player that stays in Detroit. That's two in this
Trevin
draft.
Wallace. People are talking. Trevin Wallace has had multiple meetings with the Bucs, 2-day visit at One Buck Place, but he's supposed to be like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah, they have it. I think they're tied to him not just because of that Liam Cohen connection, being his head coach. A lot of people tied Oladapo, that safety at Oregon State, to the Bucs too initially.
There's Grayson Murphy, the twin brother, to the Saints.
They both played at UCLA?
Yeah.
Hold on. Did they just draft both of them?
Wait. The Saints? No.
No, the Falcons took him last time. The Falcons took him, right? Yeah, Gabriel. They're going to face each other in the South.
Both in our division.
Yep. We're almost at our pick now. Special teamers here, honestly, in my opinion. Some potential starters, maybe. Let's see how this plays out. I don't see the Bucs doing much movement here between these two spots.
No, this is the boring part of the draft.
But the Bucs like to find value and depth here, so
all right, let's see what we got
straight
here.
up on the board, best of player available.
Muasau, the linebacker from UCLA, is actually a pretty darn good football player. What centers do we have?
Yeah, let's switch it over to interior O-line.
See, McMahon's there, but McMahon we can get it with the last pick. It's like, I don't know. Click on McMahon. See what's his size.
I think he's a big boy, man. Like 305.
6'4", 305. Like he has all the size and intangibles. How many sacks did he give up? What are the stats?
One
he
sack, one hit,
1
10
sack,
hurries.
10 hurries. Not great grades.
Yeah.
He's also playing at North Carolina State, so
he has a better grade as a zone blocking guy. He's gotten better over the 3 seasons he's played. I don't really know too much about this kid out of Miami. That is not. Yeah, that's ugly.
No, we're out of there.
How big is he? Hold on.
6'4", 305. Yeah. CJ Hansen, check him out. Holy Cross guard.
A guard?
Well, yeah, never mind.
I mean, you never know.
6'6", 305.
This is that pick that you're going to make where you could move guys around at their positions. I think they fit better. But
There's your guy Nugent, but Nugent will be there for our last pick if we really want him.
how does a kid at 246 make the team, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man.
I think if we take center, I know it's kind of a reach at this point, but who else is really available?
Go back just to the board.
A corner.
I don't want to get too many UCLA players in our draft, but
yeah, I like him too. I don't know, man. Don't need a punter.
what about this safety Braid as like a possible special teamer? Looks like he played all over. He played slot. He played box. He played deep.
Yeah.
Couple.
Coverage is pretty crappy. Bad with his tackles.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, listen, we're at what, in the 6th round right now?
Yeah, we're in round 6.
We're in like, you gotta just find a guy that you think can possibly make the roster.
I'm cool taking McMahon here.
I'm McMahon 100%.
Yeah, I think we take McMahon, and then that 7th pick, we just kind of use that.
I think with McMahon, if he gets some good coaching and he's not like, I mean, this is a 6th round pick, and the guy, I've said it 3 times on this already. He was literally the best center going into college football.
Let's take him. And then that last pick, we'll just use it for, maybe some guy you'd otherwise be signing as an undrafted free agent anyways.
Right. Some guy you just want to get before he signs with someone else.
So I think we take McMahon, we look towards the future, and hopefully he's ready in a year or so. You never know. Next year, you could find the center in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. It could all play out differently.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to go back, I still think Brian Allen is a free agent, the Rams center that played with Baker. I think that could be an option after the draft, signing him if you don't find the center you like in the draft. I think he's a solid dude.
Yeah, I'm going to speed this up a little bit to get us to that final pick. We haven't taken a quarterback. Don't know if we should. Leary,
there's Leary. That's Cohen's guy.
Yeah, I could see the Bucs doing that. I could see Jennings out of USF.
Right. Does he have the capability to swing inside?
I feel like he's only played tackle, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's played left tackle all but 1 snap throughout the entire 3 years he played at USF.
What's his size?
Big boy.
Huge.
He's huge. Yeah, I don't see him playing guard that tall, especially with your short quarterback in Baker.
Trey Knox, we do need a tight end. I mean,
we didn't go tight end. Curious if there is any cornerback options here.
Hardy.
I like that kid.
This is kind of where you almost find like a small school kind of guy, like this, like Willie Roberts, dude. But
I don't think I've seen a single player from Marshall on this board. I'm cool with Trey Knox, man. I'm cool with, I don't know. I mean, David White
Omar
Jr.
Brown.
You got, yeah.
Will you click on Omar Brown for a second?
Nebraska safety.
I mean, he graded well last year. What's his size? 6'1", 200.
You got a special teams
that could
player
be a special team guy right there.
Not much info otherwise, though.
Let me go Omar Brown 40-yard dash.
You got Tua's brother, quarterback.
No, he's trash.
You got Joe Milton, quarterback at Tennessee.
He has a cannon, but
I think
Omar Brown, he ran a 4.53.
Man, if it's me, it's between Jennings as just like a depth piece that can come in and maybe, earn a spot. And
what about Devin Leary, the quarterback?
And Devin Leary, that's what I was going
to
say.
Will you click on him?
Just because he has some familiarity, he comes in, he's a practice squad guy, and Cohen's going to be in their ear trying to get his guy a chance.
25 touchdowns, 12 picks. What's his size?
It's not great.
6'1", he's pretty average. But then again, Baker's 6'1", so.
Again, 7th round pick here, man. This is going to be a practice squad player, if anything.
Should we just piss everyone off and trade Kyle Trask for a 7th right now?
I think we just draft this kid just because.
Yeah,
I think
let's
it just
draft
makes some
Leary.
sense.
Let's draft Leary. He knows the system already.
Yeah, he's not going to make the team. Practice squad player. Who knows what happens?
Yeah.
I just think it just makes a little
I
sense.
like that. Yeah.
And I believe that shores
That
up
is the draft right there. Let's see what grade we get.
Let's zoom out here.
Ooh, D- on McMahon.
They did
That's
not
gonna hurt.
Oh,
That's
good.
gonna.
That's because we really reached on him, honestly.
Is it A? Yeah. I
really
just think it was with those 6th and 7th round picks. It's a long shot for them to even make the roster. You kind of just go after guys that you don't want to have to try to sign afterwards as undrafted free agents.
Listen, we got an A- overall with a C and a D in there. Two C's, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know why
I
they
know.
gave Corley a C.
Oh, it was a little high for Corley. I'm like, he could have been, it was more of
Hard to
that's
pass
where
on
Jason
him,
Light's like, I got to secure this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done that in the past with, different players.
So we traded up to 20 and got our edge guy.
We got our guy.
Braden Fisk somehow falls to us at 57. Can't pass him up. There's A+ and A right there. Corley, we jumped up to grab him. He's our guy. If you have a guy, you just go get him, in my opinion. Especially
for this
round.
scheme, like he would just be opening up so many different play calls for Cohen, and just Baker, just giving Baker weapons and making sure Baker is successful.
And Kyrie Jackson still falls to us, which I think is a ridiculously good pick.
That's a huge pick.
Mahogany.
Great pick. You could, and then Estime, dude, you could just cut the draft right there and be,
and then
that's
McMahon and Leary, whatever on those grades. I think you need that guy either way. And I think McMahon gives you an option next year. He could be nobody, not on the team after.
Listen, he's a project. He's a project, but it could be a project that works out.
Yep. And worst case scenario, you're signing a guy after the draft. You're signing a guy at the end of next year.
I just think with this draft, the way this goes, how it went for us, I think this is where Jason Light goes out and he signs center Brian Allen, free agent from the Rams, knows the system, knows Baker. I think it's a very good fit of a signing to kind of like cap off this roster.
And I don't think they signed him giving him the starting position. I think they signed him and let him compete and see where it goes.
He competes. Yeah. Brian Allen would just compete with Hainsey right away.
Yeah, and then whoever wins that job just because I agree with that.
Allen's more than a serviceable center. Yeah,
so we haven't mentioned to anybody out there, but listen, you guys are probably going to agree with some of our stuff and not agree with a lot of it as well. So just give us your opinions. Let us know on X, let us know on Instagram, let us know in the comment section below here. And we're going to post this on X and Instagram. We'll make a graphic for this and I think we did a great job, man. Honestly, I'm not just saying that.
I love this draft. I really love this draft.
And we've done how many mocks?
No, like in all seriousness, I've probably done like 500 mocks. When I'm bored or I'm on a flight or I'm doing anything, I'm just like, I'm going to do a mock right now.
When I'm in the barber's chair, I'm not talking to my barber. I'm just mocking, dude. Just mocking nonstop. So I think between the two of us, I could probably say we've done 1,000 total. Yeah. You've probably done more like 600, 700, and I've done 300, 400. So I think this is solid. We get rid of JTS on an expiring contract after this season anyway. I think this is a good draft, man. I really like this.
The edge room was getting too full there.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense. And you got Fisk, who's able to play every one of those positions on the line. You can even stand him up if you want to. I mean, you could stand up Cansey. There's so much more versatility with that room. You didn't need.
Unfortunately, the Fisk pick kind of says sayonara to Logan Hall.
I think it's time. Honestly, I think if they really believed who Logan Hall was going to be, I don't think they go out and sign or re-sign William Golston, because that's basically the same guy there, right? He's supposed to be William Golston's heir apparent. You signing him tells me you don't know yet that Hall is going to be that guy. And so that kind of tells me that Hall might be on his way out.
It's been too long for him not to be that guy.
Yeah, and if you remember, William Golston wasn't all that great until Todd Bowles got here, and Todd Bowles kind of rejuvenated his career. People wanted William Golston gone. And so that position usually is something that this scheme kind of fixes, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
to not see Hall develop and not see him become that guy, it's kind of telling. And that just might, that was a project pick from the beginning. I didn't like it, but here we are. So Fisk fixes it, honestly, and he fixes it to quite a degree. That's pretty dope.
I mean,
man.
if I'm looking at this Bucs roster and you're able to pull off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these first 6 picks, I mean, realistically, obviously Latu starts right away. Fisk starts right away. Corley becomes the wide receiver 3, whatever packages they're going to work for him. Like Deebo Samuel, he can go in the backfield and take like handoffs. I mean, the guy can do anything you want. Kyrie Jackson immediately is battling with Zion for the starting outside corner. Mahogany's plug and play starter at left guard. Estime is ready just to take the load whenever Rashad's off the field. I mean, those are some serious.
Let's cut it off right at Christian.
Yeah, those are some serious impact players.
You drafted the Bucs roster. 5 starters technically in those first 5 picks.
Yeah,
Corley obviously not starting wide receiver.
Wide receiver 3 though.
But he's wide receiver 3, and in this scheme, basically a starter because you're going to see a lot. You're going to go to that 11 as opposed to that 12 that they've been running with 2 tight ends. They're going to go more to that 1 tight end look where you're going to see a third wide receiver on the field often as well. This is just it's a good setup, man. And then you got Kyrie Jackson, like you talked about, and Mahogany, who are starters, in my opinion. At some point, Kyrie Jackson is going to win that job, if not force the Bucs to put Zion completely full time in that nickel position or some sort of robber safety kind of spot, because I thought he played pretty well down the stretch in that spot too. So,
and then also with Corley, Light mentioned in the press conference that he wants to find guys that can contribute in special teams as returners. I mean, Corley he's your punt returner right away.
Dude, he's your punt returner. You can put him in the backfield to the left of
let
Baker.
Liam Cohen just scheme up some stuff with him.
Yeah, and you've got your Deebo type of player right there. You can hand the ball off to him. You can run reverses. You can have him sitting in the backfield.
All types of screens, just like Deebo, getting the ball in his hands.
And you can put him on the field with Rachaad White. And now you're forcing the defense to make that decision, right? And you're in 11 personnel. It's just a good spot. The only thing I don't like about this draft is that we did not get a tight end.
That hurts.
We
do need a tight end.
I'm not a big
that's what guy. In the draft, you have to make different choices and sacrifice certain positions I just think the amount of impact players here in this draft, you can try to find a free agent tight end and a free agent center like Brian Allen.
So PFF gives us a little bit of a grade on you guys can't see it on the screen, but they thought that our pick of Corley was a bad pick because we should have taken too early
for them.
They think we should have taken Michael Penix Jr. So before we end this show, that's not a crazy scenario if you really think about it, because you could end up with a guy that you don't have to shove onto the field, and who knows how it develops, how it plays out with Baker. It's a little rich to take that guy at that spot, in my opinion, when you just signed Baker, because now you create a controversy or you possibly draft a player that you don't know what to do with. So I'm not.
I have an idea if you're able to pull this off. Can you go to YouTube right now while we're streaming this and just show the Corley highlights for a minute?
Let me see.
Just watch this kid. Just for like a minute. So our viewers can just understand what this guy brings to the table.
I'm going to have to mute this page. Hold on. I'll play this one right here. Oh, it's going to run an ad within an ad.
Yeah, that's typical.
Yeah, I don't care about YouTube. Okay, let's get this.
Just skip ahead. Just for a minute. Just what this kid brings to the table. Like, boom, see ya. Runs him over.
This guy's got Deebo written all over him, dude.
Oh, it's totally Deebo clone. Look at him just run this guy over.
Holy crap. Yeah, this is a good pick, in my opinion.
Watch this.
Boom.
Got the burners, too. Boom.
Good crossing. Isn't afraid to take it a hit, man. That's
breaks tackles. In college football, he had the most yards after contact.
And he went I'm assuming he doesn't have too many weapons on that team he's on, so that
And
does
he's
say a
got
lot.
great hands. He's just an athlete. He's a freak.
Look at this right here. Boom. Oof. That's a catch, dude. All right. We'll switch off of that. Hey,
Yeah,
that was the
I,
first ever fully loaded 7-round Bucs mock draft. I'll let you close us out, JC. I don't know. I don't think I've ever.
yeah,
closed
guys.
us out.
Well, thanks for watching. This is our first official video podcast. We wanted to do the mock draft special. You can follow us on X at Fully Loaded Bucks. All of our streaming podcasts are on Apple and iTunes, Fully Loaded, a Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed this with us going through all the scenarios. And I think we built a really good draft class for this team. And I love that trade up for Latu. Obviously, people make fun of me with how much I talk about Latu, but dude, he is a game wrecker, and it would be huge to get him on this team. And like we're watching right now, this kid Corley, man, Liam Cohen would have a heyday with this kid on the roster.
Yeah, I think the Bucs addressed everything they needed to
Look at
address other
this.
than tight end in the spot.
Yeah.
So, all right. Maybe we'll do another one of these before the draft ends.
We'll probably we'll do one more before the draft, maybe a couple days before the draft. And in between that, we'll just do a regular episode and just chat about what we're thinking and whatnot. But hey guys, stay tuned, man. This is gonna be a fun draft. Jason Light always kills it, so let's see what happens.
Yep. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.